It's a table.
Hi, and I'm the Space Quest Historian, and welcome back to the Orion Conspiracy. We've now regained control. Hello, Ikifu, incidentally. Good to see you once again. For what is sadly going to be the last time we witness the transient horror that is the scootiness of Devlin McCormack and the Orion Conspiracy. Yes. There's a lot of traipsing back and forth. See, we're at the end of the game now, and this is where all the characters just sort of stand around in a circle and tell you to go places. And the first place...
Unless they're dead.
Unless they're dead, which this guy is. He was no help whatsoever, though, so fuck him. That was the commander, was he wearing... He was wearing a red uniform, I believe.
Well, if it wasn't red before.
It certainly is now. But we're going back to the Megami Hudson lab because we just blew it up at the end of the last episode. We're pretty sure we did, anyway. We sort of circled, strafed it, and lobbed something at it, and then it blew up, so I'm pretty sure we blew it up.
We planted an explosive somewhere.
Yes. And
that seems as good a place as any.
How bad are you hurt?
How bad did I hurt you, you mean?
Why did you do this? Why did you try to take over?
Oh, that's
the
why we
station?
did it. Oh yeah, that's right, because they locked everything
What about
off.
them? You knew?
We discovered.
And not to ruin the dramatic moment or anything, but I forgot my usual
There you
beginning
go.
of episode thing.
With a flare, sir. I am
They would have killed
impressed.
us all.
Now I'm even more impressed.
We had insurance.
Perhaps too much
We
of a flare.
developed a fluid that would cause us
That was the exact right amount of flare.
harm humans.
How many shapes?
I'm not sure I agree. I feel that may have been too much flare. My trousers certainly think it was too much flare.
Or maybe it is the sheer pants-shitting severity of the situation, of the plot dump unfolding before us. Oh, there you guys are.
Now you come out.
Yes, every time they send Devlin off to do something, they just sort of stay in the background and go, oh, Devlin will take care of it. Then, when dramatic dialogue has to happen, they arrive as if on cue.
There's something you don't know, Mayor.
Oh, Mayor was
The
his
NAVCOM
name.
is backed up.
Where?
The engineer dude whom we couldn't remember the name of in the last
It's in the
episode.
pilot.
Ah, yes.
There's
I
a
would
chip in
never
her
have
skull.
got that.
In case of emergency,
Also,
it's the
let's
last
not
place
attend
anybody would
to
look.
the obviously dying, or perhaps at this point dead,
That's why you
woman
pulled her body out
whom
of the
we
car.
have blown up.
Right. It was a security
Then again,
measure
we do
to
have more
ensure
pressing
our
matters
ships
to
be
attend to.
sabotaged irreversibly by wiping the NAVCOM, but brought back online by senior officers. Whether the
What
pilot
nationality is La
alive or
Paz
dead.
supposed to be?
Okay, I'll get the
I
NAVCOM
think
back up from
it's
Brooks.
French.
Susan, you and your husband go
Is
with
it?
Mayor to the
'Cause
shuttle
that,
and wait for me.
Hey, I don't need no
That
escort.
accent is
I'll
throwing
be
me.
faster on
Another
my
thing
own.
that's also throwing me is that next to Low, someone is playing that
I'll
Pong
meet you there when
game
I've given Mayor the
very
message.
badly.
Well, I think you nailed it with the words supposed to be, rather than what is her accent exactly.
Ah, right.
That fluid gives off some.
Is the video lagging on your end?
It is.
It is lagging on my end as well.
That's it's not the best.
Hoping that's not my actual video that looks like that, otherwise we might have to do some cutting together.
This fluid gives off some pretty potent fumes.
Oh, it seems to be better now. Yeah, it's better now. I think it was just syncing.
Damn.
There we go.
My acting was for naught.
Alright, back we go. Yes, we are, in fact, using the magnificent technology of the internet to view the same YouTube video across nations, indeed. And sometimes, you know, the way these things work, I don't know. But we're very glad that it's gotten all better now that we have to dig things out of people's skulls.
Hey, corpse teabag.
But I need this more than you do. Right.
Ew.
I should have maybe have let the poignant line play out first, but I couldn't remember how long it was. I just had to
Yeah,
get
it's
that in there.
timing, perfect. And no spork was used, sadly. Okay,
No,
so
just dug it out with his bare hands, apparently.
Find me
Yeah.
that NAVCOM backup so I can fix that damn shuttle you broke.
well, I have. It's right here. Here you go. Wait, if I can find it in my unfathomably large inventory.
The shuttle's been booby
Yes,
trapped.
you have a give verb. It's inevitable, really.
Shannon, That was how
Oh, and this is where the game starts going.
Can you defuse
Let's all stay. I mean, all the characters stay in one location, and then they just send Devlin off to do various shit, like one after the other. They say, this thing is broken. So Devlin goes, okay, I'll go fix it. And then he comes back and says, it's fixed. And then they go, well, something else is broken. Now go and fix that. And then he comes back. So this.
By the way, you're walking out into unfathomable danger. So just, be lucky.
Yeah. Try not to die.
Not to mention the fact that
We'll have to wait a while. The shuttle was booby-trapped.
damn it, I had
So what do we
something
do
in
in
the
the
gone
meantime?
dark.
Go.
That's
It
what
would have been
happens.
fantastic,
Waterman?
I'm sure.
Exactly.
We'll make a note of it
Still
in the
loose.
comments,
We're all in.
comment section below
If
when we think of it.
Orion, we can
Yes.
use the fluid that Magana
So what we're going to do
has
now
to kill
is
this.
form a hunting
Let's go
party
then.
between French La Paz and Lo, for reasons I'm not entirely sure. Oh wait, what's the actual? No, what is the reason why we're going on this hunting party? I thought we were just going to fix the shuttle. I know they just
I
told
think
us, but
I think it's actually to take out the alien.
yeah, but
I've totally forgotten what they've just said, but I believe that is the idea.
yeah, they are going to go and do that, but for reasons we're not entirely sure of, because surely we were meant to be fixing the shuttle and take off in that and just, nuke the site from orbit. Are they afraid that the aliens will somehow develop the power of interstellar flight and come after them?
I think nuke the site from orbit is the last resort.
What the hell could do that to a dog?
Literally anything with a pair of hands. Oh, by the way, Lo's gone.
Yeah, oh, incidentally, we've lost one, but as you said in the previous episode, it is actually barely noticeable because none of the other characters do anything. They do what is colloquially known as fuck all. And eventually these two... Oh, here we go. It's Von Zell. No, wait, it's Waterman. It actually says it's Waterman.
It definitely is Waterman.
Or
Okay,
what you
we have that
say,
confirmed.
Waterman. I'd better get out of here and
What a-
It's
what
not
an-
what used to be
capture that
Waterman, he
thing.
just got replaced, didn't he?
Yeah,
It's not as if it infects and changes you. It's just...
and they sort of forgot to steal his room key so he could go and find some clothes, but who cares, really? One thing...
more pressing concerns.
Yeah. One thing I really like about this game, because I don't do well with timed events, like timer puzzles, and luckily no one on the development team at Divide by Zero had figured out how to do timers, so
Hey, why me?
now that we are going to capture Waterman and I guess test out the juice, the Alien Begone
Nothing's
juice.
happening.
Yes.
It's not gonna come.
wait.
You can just stand around here for ages and ages, and
I-
spoiler, once he barges through the nets and goes after La Paz, you can also stand around for ages and ages.
No.
Yes.
Staying put.
I would argue that the
Maybe you're right.
application of
Just
fire
wasting
extinguisher
time.
on
We
Rat
should-
is something of a timed puzzle, but maybe more of an aiming
Yeah,
type of thing.
yeah, it
It does go round in a circle, but you do
nothing to say.
kind of have to click at the right time.
yeah, because the object is actually moving.
Now to destroy it.
We're just gonna
before
stand
it
here and
gets
watch
free.
this thing, because that teeny little, I don't know, volleyball net, fragile little thing is apparently enough to contain a huge, gnawing, shape-shifting alien.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
Ding,
Let's
ding,
help
ding.
it. I have 2 heads, and now I'm
You
melted.
okay, Susan?
Yeah.
Oh
just
dear, this
about.
was a very terrible
That was
idea.
close.
I wish
Oh,
I could.
no.
I wish I could turn into something that had
God,
teeth.
he's
That would be
lying
so much
somewhere.
I
easier.
haven't seen him for a while.
Maybe another one of those.
Why are
things
you
has got
Kermit the
him.
Frog?
Possibly. Let's
I don't
check
know.
on me.
I must have shapeshifted into a Muppet.
Like, my voice can't go that high.
About time, too.
But where the fuck were you?
He attacked me.
No.
So we are
You're lying.
dangerously close to the end, so perhaps we would like to
You arrived.
go over the plan and
How
talk
do we
about the
know
comic
it
book.
isn't Mayor? He could be one
We
of
will
them.
have plenty of time after the after
you're gonna do it
the
after,
game
alright.
ends. Oh yes, yes, because that is actually what we're going to do at the end.
Genuine articles.
After we have
Jeff, no.
suffered
it
through
couldn't be.
whatever the hell is going to happen now, we're gonna take a little look at the comic book that came with the game,
I'm almost done.
which actually does a very good job at setting up a intriguing and complex character that this game just
Where?
flatly refuses to acknowledge in the slightest.
He'll blow us away soon as we leave the docking bay.
I'll have to
Also,
stop
La Paz is
that thing.
taking the loss of her husband quite well.
Yeah, she just kind of went, no, not him, and then remained in place and doesn't run out after.
And is just there to give responses to whatever happens in this conversation.
Yeah.
If I can get to the control center and start the
Also,
How
Devlin
does
is
he
now.
know how this place works?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, suddenly he's an expert on how this
Get
works.
back here. What if you don't make it?
Oh, you
When
haven't
his
seen my
son died,
walkie.
all of his knowledge came to him.
That's
That's how it works in the future, right?
I do believe so, yes. I mean, have you noticed how the side view sprite just looks like he's making an absolute sprint for it, and the up and down view is just more of a gentle
Oh, like
saunter?
with one leg sort of behind the other.
Yeah, he's doing a catwalk. But yes, this is what I was talking about. The other characters just remain in place and wait for you to go and do stuff. So now we've placed... Now, actually, we have not placed a mine yet. I believe we are about to. No.
Or you do the setting the self-destruct first, and then... Do you have to do that, do you reckon? Or...
Yes, you actually have to do
Right.
that. I did go back and try to just, set the charge immediately. Spoilers for those of you who haven't seen this. You go to the bridge, press the self-destruct button, go all the way back, as you can see here from this. It's quite a long trek. I have to go through the elevator, I have to go all the way down here, I have to go all the way through here and into the shuttle thing.
How long have we got?
I'll check. Damn. This self-destruct's been overridden.
So, guess who has to trek all the fucking way back and do it again?
The oldest person of the entire group who knows the space station the least out of everyone
Can't go out there
present.
again?
Yes.
It'll be waiting for you.
That guy.
I'll take my chance.
I'll take my chances. I mean, fuck, I'm living on borrowed time anyway.
I mean, you're all pretty useless. Fucking look at me go.
Now this
I'm
footage.
Irish.
Yes. This
God, the
footage
music
has, of
sounds
course,
ridiculous when it's sped up.
it sounds pretty ridiculous at normal speed as well, but I think oh yeah, that's right. One thing that happens when you go back and set the self-destruct mechanism is that the alien shows up.
The external laser
From the cannon
can be
room.
Controlled from here.
That's where it sort of pops out.
Oh.
But you can walk in here, scroll the thing. Well, you can't even scroll it. Okay, so room is clear, nothing in there. So now we use this self-destructy thing, and also to sort of
This time I've got
prevent
to make
the
sure
alien
that
from overriding
nothing
it.
can override the
we just chuck a destructive device. Yes, that's the new name for it. Place a mine there. If you didn't pick up the second mine, you're
Try
screwed.
and turn the switch off now, you bastard.
I would laugh so much if the alien came in, looked at the mine, just sort of went. just batted it like a cat.
Yeah, picked it up.
Yep. Where does he come from? That place you were just in.
Yeah, apparently he had shapeshifted into, I don't know, a
Running
crate or something.
animation.
Oh yeah, now he actually does run. Which is
Shit, man.
interesting
You couldn't
because
do it
I
fine.
thought he had a heart condition, but
Fuck outta
okay.
here.
Well, it's more of a scorched lungs kind of thing, but same
Tanuki.
effect, really.
Yeah.
Tanuki.
The raccoon with giant balls. Ah, the good
Yeah.
ship. The good ship
Magic
raccoon.
balls.
Oh, magic balls. Yeah, and we blew it up, so last resort. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And you would expect some sort of interesting epilogue to. I mean, have you ever seen that Philip K. Dick move, Screamers? I know.
I've not actually.
Nah.
No.
It's sort of the same thing, sort of, robots shape-shifting or taking over humans, and then right at the end, spoiler, he escapes the moon and, in a shuttle thing, believing all the robots to be dead, and then in the back seat there's a little teddy bear, like a little doll, and the teddy bear just sort of turns its head and lifts one of its paws, and then closing credits. And I thought, absolutely for certain, that the game was going to pull the same kind of shit. It didn't. Actually,
Not enough imagination for that.
this is the most unceremonious ending.
It's a table.
Yes, thank you.
Of course. How else would it end?
It had to end like that. So yes, that was actually the Orion Conspiracy. It kind of ends with a bit of a whimper, although it also ends with a bang, but the bang is silent.
And a bit of a whimper.
Kind of a whimper. You just sort of blow it up, and then you head off, and then we could really think of anything else to do.
We don't think it's that great, in case that's not coming across.
No, it's kind of an underwhelming experience, but at this, by the same token, it's also kind of one of a guilty pleasure because, well, Ikifu has played this game numerous times, made a video review that took him 6 months to do. I have played this game many times. Played it last year when I recorded this footage, which I believe was in October or November, and now
better than you than me, mate.
But now I've just watched it again in great company, I must say. And so we do have sort of an affinity for this game, if nothing else, like I said in the last episode, to tell people how much it sucks and how fantastically funny it is that it sucks so bad. It's kind of like the Mystery Science Theater worthy game of the 90s, I believe. I mean, it has that. Yeah. I
mean, there's a lot of those. And I'm not the best judge of that because I had previously judged Urban Runner as not really being riffable because it didn't have any dialogue to react to. And then Retrospective completely proved me wrong on that one.
Oh, it is. That is very riffable. I mean, Phantasmagoria, Puzzle of Flesh. Spoonie did a fantastic riff on that one. So yeah, okay, there are a lot of riffable Mystery Science Theory 90s games, but I think they are at their best when they try to take themselves as seriously as a game like the Orion Conspiracy does, and being funny and comical unintentionally, which this game absolutely does. So, what we do have for you, you might have noticed this is kind of a short episode. So what Ikifu teased a little earlier was that we do in fact have the comic book that came with the game. And I'm going to splice in some very high quality scans that Ikifu made of the pages. And
by that he means I've literally took pictures of the comic book pages on my phone.
Yeah, but it's still it's pretty great. Now, I had not read the comic book when I played the game the first time, and I only actually knew that it came with a comic book before we started recording this series, because Ikifu said, I've got the boxed copy of it. Have you read the comic book? And
well, you didn't pay very much attention to my video, did you? My video review that you thought was so good, because I mentioned the comic in that one as well. Also, at some point I promised I would stop doing this joke. I can't remember if that was on camera or not, but it seems to be a thing. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's go on with the commentary thing.
Okay. Right.
That's good. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's read the entire comic book like this. Actually, we were debating on how we should present the comic book, and I think what we settled on was that since it's only 6 pages long, we should just read it out loud with Ikifu doing the inimitable voice of Devlin McCormack, and me doing everyone else. And I will stress this again. You pick up the game box, you open the game box, and you pull out this comic book, and you read it, and you go, this is going to be great. Because I wholeheartedly think that this comic book does a great job of setting up a character and an interesting plot, and then you install the game, and it all goes to shit. But
you have said nothing that I disagree with, sir.
Thank you. Well, that had to happen sometime. Deep Space Freighter Kushiro, en route to the Cerberus Research Station.
I lay awake, afraid to close my eyes. Memories stalk me like a pack of hungry wolves.
That's my wolf impression. That's a
I'm a
wolf.
Murloc now, apparently.
That's a wolf drowning, apparently.
When sleep finally comes, the nightmare begins. We worked for one of Earth's largest conglomerates, exploring frontier systems. Everything was going to plan. My crew and I were all good friends.
Was that his plan?
It's just...
Sorry.
It's no bad plan, to be honest.
Oh, that's a pretty good plan.
It was just another 3-month tour of duty. Sorry, my Scottish accent will slip in from time to time.
Well, it happens.
I have not practiced. This was a last-minute decision. At least on my part. I think he's had this planned for weeks. Anyway. Then the corporation war began. Companies started fighting over territorial rights. Research stations were destroyed. Ah.
Oh
I can't do a decent Wilhelm scream, otherwise I would have put that in.
It's just like that idea of the, oh dear, I'm dead.
They say, oh no, I used to have legs. Fleets of starships battled to the death.
Can they
We
actually
thought we were safe, out of the way, too small to pose a threat. But the war came to us. We weren't soldiers. We were sitting ducks. I'm Irish, honest.
Engine hits! We're on fire! Gary Owens.
Get down there. Try to contain it. I think Gary Owens is a good fit for this, to be honest. Engine hit. We're on fire. That was more game show than Gary Owens. I mean, he towed the line a little bit, but I went too far in one direction.
Irish Gary Owens.
Yeah, fuck me. Hold your fire. We are a research vessel. We are not armed. Repeat, we are not armed. Please. Oh, no, that's in speech marks. I do apologize. Then the second missile hit.
Oh. We are not armed. No, indeed we are not. They have now fallen off.
I don't actually know if that's Devlin or not.
I don't know. Let's just pretend that it isn't. The shield,
doors!
He has 2 vocal cords. He's an amazing person.
Shield doors. By the time I got there, the radiation in the engine room was so high my crew were dying.
No! Christ, no! And, oh, that's a female voice. Oh, this is gonna be weird. Open the door! Devlin, for the love of God!
A poisonous snake!
a poisonous reactor!
Whatever kills Cedric, I'm happy with. I can't. I'm sorry.
That was the best
Sorry,
one.
Went a bit Shatner there. If I'd opened the door, the radiation would have killed me. It was already too late for my friends. I could only watch them burn. So not get poisoned, like literally burning from radiation.
Ouch.
And you watched them rather than turn away?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you could just, duck, cry, close your eyes, something. Any?
Hand on the window.
Yeah.
That's film movie language dictates. Then the life support systems failed. Ironically, it saved my life. That's
actually very ironic.
The attackers left me for dead. I don't know why, but I've taken to putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable. I don't know why I've decided to do that.
He does that. That is the Irish way.
Of course. I would know this well when it came to my hair colour. Which doesn't come through at the moment because I've had it cut, but still.
It's red.
Is it? Jesus Christ!
Sorry, I may have outed you.
I may have peaked my microphone. It's okay. I was eventually rescued by a company freighter. But the poison air I'd had to breathe ruined my lungs, leaving me unable to work. I was retired early and resettled with my family on one of the new colony worlds.
And for a second there, I thought you'd scribbled something in it, in the comic book, but no, it actually does say, "Welcome to Limbo." So,
yes.
So it is. I think that's their way of saying, "Well, what a shithole." Although it looks rather nice from this vantage point.
Speaking of shithole, I'm looking forward to see how my accent degrades as the further I get into this.
Yeah, because things are about to get really, really dark. Radiation burning is dark enough, but yeah.
Like ruining your lungs, not great. It's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
And I'm still gonna do a stupid ass accent. Over all of it. So.
We have to get some levity in there, surely, because this is tragic stuff. I said in a Sean Connery voice.
Oh, I can choose some fucking scenery. Let's go.
All right.
But if you don't work, you're not part of the company. You have no purpose. You're ostracized, ignored, scorned.
Other words from my thesaurus.
Fucking right. My wife, Catherine, took it badly. Her friends deserted her. She began to blame me for ruining her life.
Yes, I destroyed my lungs because I hate you, dear.
It was just to piss you off. I have so little to do around here. I can't work. Have I mentioned that already? It's kind of important in this culture. I mean, side note, that is a kind of unique take on things. Like, they're on a company-centric colony where, you know, like, if you don't work, you ain't shit.
No, you're just flotsam, really. And it's kind of a Starship Trooper-esque sort of, like they, instead of bringing back fascism, they just brought in corporate culture, and that is now the rule. It's actually a fascinating setting, really.
Where the fuck was I? Blame me for reading your lip, blah, blah.
Your only son, Danny.
Yes. Our only son, Danny, left home as soon as he could, joining a company's science apprenticeship.
Bye, Mom.
I mean, frankly, it looks like Devlin's just about to throw up on that wall.
Yes. What does he do? Oh, he's just hugging the wall, just going, my only son, I cannot deal.
Whereas Catherine's given her best rendition of Girl in the Tower. I can
Yes. Son, don't leave. I was just voted in for Eurovision.
Topical. And then it gets dark. Now, Catherine had nothing to live for. And then one day she was gone.
Now this is tragic as fuck. I do have a question, but I suppose it must go unanswered. It's, can you actually physically die from someone just leaving?
Well, you know, Princess Amidala died from sadness, so...
Oh yeah, well, I guess. I mean, it is mostly, you know, when, you know, you have married couples that have been together forever, then one of them dies, and then the second one usually goes within the next, I don't know, week or so, kind of thing. It always goes like, oh, and then his health deteriorated, parentheses, probably because he forgot to eat or something. So yeah, so I guess that is, yeah. But I also I actually quite like that they sort of skimmed over it. They just went, well, she couldn't cope, and then she died.
Well, bad thing happened.
Yes.
Then shit got worse.
Yes.
And now, that was 3 years ago. Now I'm on my way to my son's funeral.
He's also dead, incidentally.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what funerals mean. Somebody has died. Maybe it means something different in the land of the Danish, but here it means that some person is in the ground.
Yes.
Where that ground is does not seem to be of great importance. It could be on an asteroid space station type thing, which is poorly defined.
Yes.
I'm running out of breath. I've lost everyone I've ever loved. Okay, verging into English lit territory, but I feel like that should be I've ever loved, as opposed to everyone I ever loved.
Yeah, you may have a point there. Although it seems petty to not suggesting that we are petty, but you might as well accuse us of that.
Look, I know you've lost your wife and your son and everything, but your grammar's fucking atrocious.
Yeah,
mate.
exactly. That was the point I was trying to get to.
Anyway. But I can't shake the feeling that fate hasn't finished with me yet.
Oh, it's got more for you? Holy Christ. How much more? How much shit can you put this one guy through, really?
All sorts of weird emphasis on words. What will I find on Cerberus? A new beginning? Or the end?
Probably the latter, actually. Yeah. Or shape-shifting aliens.
A variety, a cornucopia, a plethora, you might say.
Yes. Perhaps even...
Shit.
Perhaps even a conspiracy.
At least.
At least one. Yes.
Zero to many conspiracies.
Yes. So I hope what's coming across here is that we think the game had endless potential that it, I wouldn't say squandered, but took in a very peculiar direction. And I don't know if that has to do with the writing of the game itself, the art style, which is kind of weirdly comic bookish, especially when it comes to the shape-shifting aliens, who I'm quite sure were supposed to be terrifying, but are anything but. Or just the fact that the game sort of seems to give up about halfway through and just sprint for the exit. Literally, in fact. I don't know. What's your take, sir?
I mean, sometimes when you mash these two things together, you get something like this, which seems very disjointed, and you're just off of one plot thread before another one rears its ugly head again. And sometimes you get The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. This is the first example, if that wasn't clear.
Yeah. But I will say this, if you, for some reason, did not enjoy the commentary, and I can, I can see why. I can see pros and cons. See ya. Yeah, that would be one of them. If you are perhaps a patron of mine over on patreon.com/SpaceQuestHistorian, you can see the non-commentary versions of this playthrough of just the game. And it's phenomenally high-pitched soundtrack and all the voice acting in all its sweary very non-Irish glory.
All 5 actors.
All the 5 actors doing their utmost.
That might be wrong, but it's a low number.
Yeah, it's you can count it on one hand, maybe a mutated hand, but certainly a hand. And you should definitely go and check out my friend Ikifu's channel, where he does short little reviews of point-and-click adventures. Point-and-quickies, in fact, which has a sexual undertone, but I'm not sure that was intentional.
Not even out of frame, that was terrible.
I'll help you out. I'll just move the face cams.
Why does his face cam move up slightly, down slightly? Oh, fuck it.
Left slightly. Fine. Anyway, there's a link to his channel in the description down below. And he also has a Patreon. You can go and check that out. But until then, please like, subscribe, do whatever you kids do. Do whatever comments you feel like leaving us, because we do enjoy the comments a lot. I almost fucked that up, but yeah, there we go. We'll be back next Thursday. Well, I say I will. Ikifu is now free of his hell and purgatory and all of that nonsense. You'll never have to play the Orion Conspiracy again, if you don't want to, at least. Next Thursday, I'll be back with a new co-commentary series, and this time we're playing Cloak and Dagger's first ever game, Mudlarks, with my friend Iavonix. So that's fun. It's going to be very fun. Because he actually gets to play the game. Ikifu was just stuck in purgatory watching me play this game, but I've actually given Iavonix the chance to take over my mouse and actually play the game with me, so, well, sorry.
Better you than me, mate.
Well, still, sorry about that. Anyway.
I've done my time.
Cheers, and we'll see you around the Chrono Stream.